Ladies and gentlemen, you think you're tired, you think you're not in the mood, you think it's hard to stay focused. Let me tell you something: champions don't care. The difference between a winner and a loser isn't talent, it's not luck, it's not even motivation, it's the decision to do it anyway. You wake up in the morning and you feel tired, you scroll your phone, you feel demotivated, you look around at your life and you start negotiating with yourself: maybe I'll start tomorrow, maybe I'll take a rest day. Maybe I'm just not in the right mental space today. Let me tell you right now that mentality is death. That's the slow rot that eats away at potential, and it's how the majority of people live: emotionally reactive, soft, and controlled by how they feel. That's why they stay broke. That's why they stay weak. That's why they never win. The world doesn't care about how you feel. Success doesn't care about your mood. And real life rewards the man who shows up regardless. Discipline is the code of warriors. It's the ability to ignore your temporary emotions and execute on your mission. It's not about hype or motivation. That's for peasants. Kings don't need mood swings to operate. They do what must be done because it's required, period. You don't train because you feel strong. You train to become strong. You don't wake up early because it's fun. You do it because while others sleep, you rise. You don't read, study, build, or grind because you're in the mood. You do it because your future self demands it. That's discipline, and discipline will make you rich, powerful, respected, and dangerous. Most men are emotional. They wake up and let their day be dictated by how they feel. If they're sad, they rest. If they're anxious, they avoid. If they're lazy, they scroll. So what do they get in return? Weak bodies, empty wallets, broken dreams, and the worst part, they know it. Deep down, they know they're lying to themselves every day, postponing progress, pretending they'll get to it tomorrow. But discipline doesn't wait for permission. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel. I don't care what I want right now. I care about what I'm building. Every successful person you look up to has one thing in common: they've mastered the art of execution without emotion. They've built routines. They've built structure. And when their feelings say, take it easy, they respond with one command: shut up. Work anyway. You see, discipline is freedom. Sounds ironic, but it's the truth. The more you train yourself to act regardless of emotion, the more control you gain over your life. You stop being a slave to laziness. You stop being manipulated by distraction. You become unshakable. It's easy to start. Everyone starts, but almost no one finishes. Why? Because they were depending on how they felt. Discipline is what separates the finishers from the fantasizers. You want six-pack abs. You want millions in the bank. You want respect from men and desire from women. Then kill the voice in your head that says, not today. Do it when you're sore. Do it when you're broke. Do it when no one's clapping for you. That's where real discipline is forged: in pain, in silence, in isolation. Every time you ignore your emotions and take action anyway, you gain power. It's like adding armor to your character. Each workout when you're exhausted, that's armor. Each late night grind session when your friends are partying, armor. Each early morning when your alarm rings and you get up without hesitation, more armor. And one day you'll walk through fire while others beg for comfort because you're armored up. Let people say you're obsessed. Let them call you intense. That's fine. They'll be spectators. You'll be the one they watch, the one they study, because you chose discipline over emotion. Motivation is temporary. It's a sugar rush, a hit of dopamine. It fades. Discipline, that's fuel from within. It doesn't care about the weather, the mood, or the calendar. It shows up daily, no matter what. So don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait to feel like it. That's a trap. Just move, act, push, and once you master that, you'll look around and realize while others were waiting for motivation, you became unstoppable. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants to be powerful, respected, unstoppable, but no one wants the pain that comes with it. That's the irony. They crave the result, but they run from the very process that creates it, and that's why they lose. You think you're the only one who suffers. You think the pain you feel makes you special. It doesn't. It just makes you human. What makes you elite, what makes you dangerous, is what you do with that pain. Most people treat pain like an enemy. They try to avoid it, hide from it, drown it in distractions: food, phones, porn, entertainment, weakness. But here's the truth. Pain is not your enemy, it's your weapon. Pain is your signal that something matters. It's a reminder that there's work to do. It's the fire that forges champions. Every time life punches you in the face, every failure, betrayal, setback, Heartbreak, you've got two options, fold or fuel up, and the winners, they use pain like gasoline. They take every scar and turn it into strength. You want to build something, expect pain. You want to level up, embrace pain. You want to be great, then understand there is no greatness without suffering. Every man you respect, the billionaires, the fighters, the warriors, the icons, they were all broken at some point. But instead of crying about it, they got up. They used the pain as a mirror to examine themselves, to kill their weakness, and to reforge their identity. You think I got strong because life was easy? You think I became who I am because everything went right? No, I bled for this, I suffered for this, I buried versions of myself for this. Pain built me, because pain doesn't just show you what hurts, it shows you what needs to change. It exposes the parts of you that aren't good enough yet, the soft parts, the excuses, the lies you tell yourself to stay mediocre. And when you stop running from pain and start welcoming it, you evolve. Not emotionally, not spiritually, physically, mentally, completely. People always say, I'm hurting, I'm stressed, I'm lost. Good, that means life is giving you a gift, a fire, and now it's up to you to decide, are you going to burn in it, or are you going to rise through it? When you train your body and you feel that burn, that's not a signal to stop. That's your body upgrading. When you work on your craft and keep failing, that's not a reason to quit. That's refinement. When life betrays you, breaks you, humiliates you, that's not the end. That's the beginning of the man you're supposed to become. Stop thinking pain is punishment. It's not. It's a privilege. Pain wakes you up. It reminds you that comfort is a trap. It teaches you to respect effort. It shows you the difference between talkers and doers, between sheep and wolves. When you start seeing pain as fuel, you stop wasting time asking why me. Instead, you ask, what's next? You stop whining and start working. You stop hoping and start building. You stop blaming and start owning everything. Let the world be soft. Let them cry over discomfort. Let them seek therapy for discipline problems. You're different. You're forged by fire. You choose the hard road because that's where real men are made. No one remembers the comfortable. No one follows the easy. They follow the man who walked through hell with a grin on his face because he understood that pain is the price of power. Every failure, that's data. Every heartbreak, that's fuel. Every struggle, that's growth. You think the gym builds muscle. No, it tears muscle down. Growth is a response to damage. The same is true in life. You want strength, earn it through pain. You can either use your pain to stay stuck or use it to explode forward. Because when you suffer with purpose, when you grind through agony, when you embrace every scar, you become unstoppable. You become unbreakable. Not because you're numb, but because pain doesn't scare you anymore. It serves you. The moment you start treating pain as a gift, that's the moment your enemies can't touch you, failure can't defeat you, and comfort can't seduce you. So when life hurts, when it all falls apart, smile. Good, let it hurt, let it burn, then use it. Every time you open your mouth and say, I can't, what you're really saying is, I won't. Every excuse you make is just a fancy way of avoiding responsibility. You dress it up as logic, as reason, but deep down you know it's all a lie to protect your ego from the truth. You're not willing to suffer for what you say you want. You tell yourself you're tired, that you're too busy, that you don't have the time, the energy, the genetics, the opportunity. You blame your past, your parents, the system. You've got an excuse for everything, and that's exactly why you've got nothing. You're broke, you're out of shape, you hate your life. That's not because of your circumstances. It's because of your excuses, because while you're sitting there explaining why it's not your fault, another man, one with less talent, less support, and more problems is outworking you. He's not special, he just refuses to lie to himself. Excuses are seductive, they make you feel safe, they give you a way out, but they also guarantee that you'll stay exactly where you are, weak, stuck, average, and the worst part, you know that. That guilt in your gut when you skip the gym, that voice in your head when you procrastinate, that's your soul begging you to stop lying and do the damn work. You've got people who grew up in war zones, who lost family, who had nothing, and they built empires, and you're here whining about being burnt out. After 5 hours of scrolling and 2 tasks, get serious. Here's the truth. No one's coming to save you, not your parents, not your friends, not your government, not God. You're the only one who can fix your life. And longer you keep blaming everything and everyone around you, the longer you stay powerless. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you take your power back. You didn't have time, wake up earlier. You didn't have energy, eat better, train harder. You don't know how, learn. You failed, good. Try again. You feel depressed, anxious, empty, then do something about it. Because the harsh truth is, no one cares. The world doesn't care about your feelings, your fears, or your backstory. It cares about results. You either produce or you don't. You either win or you lose. You either do the work or you stay average. Now, you can keep pretending you're a victim. Keep waiting for the perfect day. Keep telling yourself you'll start next week. But deep down, even you know it's all garbage, because if you really wanted it, you'd already be working. If it really mattered, you'd already be showing up. If you really had the drive, your actions would prove it. Look in the mirror and be honest. That's where the war starts. Stop saying, I want to be successful, and start proving it. Stop claiming you're built different when your actions scream average. Stop talking like a lion when you live like a house cat. Everyone wants the life, the money, the freedom, the power, but no one wants the suffering it requires, so they take the easy way out, excuses. But here's what you've got to understand. Excuses don't change your situation. They just justify it, and every time you make one, you're reinforcing a mindset of failure. You're telling your subconscious, I'm not in control, I'm a victim. I don't have what it takes, and guess what? Your brain listens, it believes what you tell it. You make enough excuses, you start living like they're true. So what's the solution? Radical ownership, brutal honesty, ruthless discipline. You stop waiting, you stop blaming, you stop negotiating. You take the pain, the pressure, the chaos, and you say, this is mine. I own all of it. And once you do that, no one can stop you. Because when you cut the excuses, all that's left is action. No more stories, no more pity, no more BS, just execution, every day, relentlessly, and over time, that execution compounds into power. You stop being a man with potential and you become a man with results. You stop being a dreamer and you become a doer. You stop making noise and you start making impact. So the next time your mind gives you an excuse, punch back. Say, I'm not here to be comfortable. I'm here to dominate, and then do it anyway, because in the end, the man who wins isn't the one who had the fewest problems. It's the one who had every reason to quit and did it anyway. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for a savior, waiting for permission, waiting for someone to push them, believe in them, rescue them from mediocrity. That mindset, that dependency, it's exactly why they lose. You need to understand something very clearly. Nobody is coming to save you, not your parents, not your boss, not your friends, not your partner, and definitely not some government, some movement, or some mentor. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because the world is unfair, it's because you've been giving your power away, expecting someone else to do the work for you. That ends today. The world is full of men who are soft because they were taught to depend on everything except themselves. They need motivation from influencers. They need validation from women. They need direction from society. And the moment life doesn't hand it to them, they crumble. Why? Because they never learned how to stand alone. You want to be powerful. You want to be respected, then stop outsourcing your backbone. You don't need someone to hold your hand. You need to hold your ground. You don't need constant reassurance. You need execution. You don't need therapy every time life slaps you. You need a plan, grit, and a pair of balls. Self-reliance is the foundation of masculinity. It means you don't wait for someone to wake you up. Your ambition does that. You don't wait to be told what to do. You decide what must be done. You don't look for applause. You build in silence. Because true men don't need hype to operate. They run on discipline, clarity, and the understanding that everything they want is on them. Look around. The world is trying to make you dependent on comfort, on pills, on distractions, on lies. They want you weak, docile, easily led. Because a man who can't stand on his own will follow anyone blindly. But a man who is self-reliant, he's a threat. He can't be controlled, manipulated, or broken, because he doesn't need anything outside himself to keep moving forward. That's what you need to become: unbreakable, untouchable, complete, the kind of man who can be thrown into chaos and still execute, who can be hated, doubted, betrayed, and still rise. You know why most people never become successful? Because they've always got someone to blame. My parents never supported me. My ex broke me. My friends never helped. My boss is toxic. Stop. That blame game doesn't make you stronger. It makes you helpless, and helpless men get used, ignored, or forgotten. You want to be elite, own everything, even the things that weren't your fault. Take responsibility anyway, because that mindset, that ownership, that's how you take your power back. Being self-reliant doesn't mean you never ask for help. It means if help never comes, you still win. It means you build the discipline, the skill, the mindset, and the resolve to create your future without needing anyone to carry you through it. Because every man you admire, every successful, powerful, dominant figure you look up to, he earned that position by being independent, by grinding when no one believed, by choosing discipline when others chose comfort, by learning, failing, adapting, and showing up daily with no cheerleaders, no applause, and no shortcuts. It's easy to be confident when life is smooth and everyone's clapping. But who are you when it's quiet, when no one checks on you, when things get heavy, when you're surrounded by silence, failure, and doubt? If you can still show up and perform, that's real power. That's self-reliance. You don't need to be liked. You need to be respected. You don't need to be supported. You need to be effective. You don't need someone to understand your struggle. You need to conquer it. You have to become your own coach, your own motivator, your own executioner. Because when the world goes cold, and it will, the man who can light his own fire is the one who survives. So stop begging life to get easier. Stop looking around, waiting for someone to lift you up. Lift yourself. Read, train, build, evolve, outwork every version of yourself. Be the one they depend on, not the one always depending. Because in this world there are two kinds of men, the ones who wait. The ones who win. Be the latter. Be self-reliant. Be unshakable. Everybody talks. Everybody plans. Everybody dreams. You sit in rooms full of people who have brilliant ideas, perfect strategies, long-term goals, but no results. You know why? Because talking doesn't move weight. Planning doesn't build empires. Dreams don't deposit money in the bank. You only win when you act. You only change your life when you stop thinking and start executing. The problem isn't that people don't know what to do. It's that they don't do what they know. They wait. They overthink. They get ready. They convince themselves they need more clarity, more knowledge, more motivation, more time. And in that process of waiting to feel perfect, they stay exactly the same. Intentions are worthless. They sound good. They make you feel productive. You sit there writing down goals, building mood boards, listening to motivational speeches, but until you take action, it's all noise, mental masturbation. You don't need another plan. You need a push. You don't need another mentor. You need momentum. You don't need better ideas. You need execution. The man who acts even imperfectly will always be the man who sits on a perfect idea doing nothing with it, because success doesn't care about potential, it rewards performance. It doesn't care how many books you've read, how many courses you've taken, or how many hours you've spent researching. It cares about what you did. You say you want to be successful, then show me what you're building, show me your routine, show me your output, because your actions are your truth. Everything else is just marketing. You can lie to your friends, you can lie to your followers, but your results, your body, your bank account, your skills, they never lie. They are the scoreboard. They reflect what you do, not what you intend. This world doesn't reward the man who wants it the most. It rewards the man who works the most, who executes when he's tired, who shows up when he's uninspired, who keeps moving when there's no applause, no promise, no guarantee. Action builds discipline. Action builds confidence. You think you need to feel ready before you move. No, you move and then the confidence comes. You build self-belief by proving to yourself over and over that you're not a talker, you're a doer. While others are in their heads, you should be in the trenches. While they debate whether now is the right time, you're already 10 steps in. While they're setting New Year's resolutions, you've built a daily routine they couldn't survive for a week. Stop waiting for perfect. The timing won't be perfect. The plan won't be perfect. You won't feel fully confident, fully skilled, or fully ready. But guess what? No one who ever built anything great was ready when they started. They just started and they adjusted along the way. Do you think the greats sit around overthinking every move? No. They understand that progress is built on movement, not perfection. You're not judged by your dreams. You're judged by your delivery. So wake up early. Show up tired. Hit the gym when you're sore. Start the business even if it's small. Film the content even if it's not perfect. Just move, because every time you take action, you're separating yourself from 99% of people. They talk, you move, they fantasize, you build, they wait, you win. Do you want to know why action is so powerful? Because most people won't do it. They're too scared, scared of failing, scared of judgment, scared of discomfort, and that fear paralyzes them. But for you, that fear should be a trigger not to stop, but to attack. You want to stand out. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most connected. You just need to be the one who moves first, moves fast, and never stops. The world is run by the men who take action before they feel ready, who figure it out as they go. You think you're behind, you're not. The second you stop hesitating and start executing, you'll pass everyone who's still sitting around thinking about it. So forget intention, forget planning your perfect future. You want to change your life, start moving your feet, build something, fail fast, learn, improve, adapt, keep going, because momentum beats motivation, consistency beats talent, action beats everything. So here we are. You've heard it all, the truth no one else will tell you, that your emotions don't matter, that your pain is your power, that every excuse you make is a lie keeping you weak, that no one is coming to save you, and that dreams without action are worthless. You can take this message and forget it, or you can take this moment and decide right now that your life changes from this second forward. Discipline over emotion, pain over comfort, ownership over excuses. You build you not through talk, not through hope, but through execution. Because every man who wins, the real ones, the ones who stand tall when the world bows, they're not special, they're not magical. They just made the decision to stop waiting and start moving. They did it anyway. When it hurt, they did it anyway. When it got lonely, they did it anyway. When everyone told them to quit, they did it anyway. And that's why they win. So what's it going to be? Another day of talking about potential, or the first day of becoming a weapon? You want to be respected, then earn it. You want power, then build it. You want freedom, then fight for it, because no one owes you anything, and life doesn't reward the man with the best intentions. It rewards the one who does it anyway. Now stand up, get focused, get violent with your purpose, and go take what's yours.